This is Grocery Talks with food distribution guys Richard Baker, where we provide food manufacturers with a greater understanding of Canada's grocery sector. And now, here's our host, Richard Baker.
Today, I'm pleased to be joined on the line by Mr. Oded Omer, CEO and founder of Wasteless. Thank you, Oded, for your time today.
Thank you, Richard.
Could you please provide us with a brief overview of yourself and your business, Wasteless?
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. My name is Oded Omer. I am a musician and engineer and serial entrepreneur. The last 12 years of my life, I established three retail tech companies, actually two, but one in the middle I joined to the two entrepreneurs. We grew the companies from ideating stage, so literally from scratch. And our last two companies were sold. The last one was sold actually to AB InBev. It dealt with big data and IoT, and was and still extremely successful. And then we started Wasteless. And Wasteless was established to reduce food waste in a supermarket. There is, I don't know if you know, Richard, but there is huge food waste problem in supermarkets.
No, I understand that. I do know the fact is that there's a lot of waste going globally. And a lot of it's either personal, or it's actually at the retail level, the grocery level, or it's at the food service level.
Yes, definitely. So what we do, we are reducing the food waste in supermarkets and the food retail chains by applying dynamic pricing or better markdowns to the fresh food items. And the basic idea is very, very simple. You, Richard, you should not necessarily pay the same price for, let's say, as an example, a pack of 2-4 sirloins, the steaks that are expiring in 2 days or in 8 days, in 5 days or in 1 day. Okay, so we are applying smart markdowns. So for not for every SKU, but for many perishable items, there will be two prices. The first one is the list price, the catalog price, and then the second one is the reduced price only if there is a reduction. Okay.
So you're a member of the EIT Food Association. Could you tell us a little bit more about them and what their mission is?
Yes. So EIT first, very helpful. They are brilliant, and they have a clear vision to reduce aggressively the food waste, not only in retail, across the value chain. Now, EIT itself, it is a consortium, of leading players, which can be governmental, so supported by the European Commissions, or matching funds, usually by industry leaders. Industry leaders meaning mainly consumer packaged goods, but not only. Yes, so also there are some universities that are involved in the EIT, and they are looking not only to invest, but also really to commercialize sustainable solution across the board.
So what global retailers are you currently working with?
Yeah, so I will divide it into two. Global retailers, we work currently with Metro, and we are about to sign a large contract that I cannot yet share the information because of some embargoes, marketing rules. So globally, we work with Metro AG. That's a German retailer that is active in many countries. Locally, we're working in Italy, in Ypres. We are not active yet in Canada and the US. So just before COVID, we started our a company in the US to, you know, to have the product fit, because the North American market is very, very different from the European one, but we are not yet there. Okay. So our chains are mainly European.
Right. So sounds like a great business what you're trying to do. So what inspired you to help retailers reduce perishable goods foods waste?
Yeah, so, you know, I looked right after or in parallel to the acquisition of Weisberger, the last company that I was the CTO of. I've decided not to be part of the acquisition and be part of, you know, like huge conglomerate, corporate America, we call it here. And I looked for some interesting problems, and I checked some of them, okay? And I realized that I should keep my, or leverage actually my expertise in retail tech, okay? And deal with food waste that is not only huge, but also something that we can indeed, well, I will start this question. You're editing, so yeah. Okay, so what was the question? Inspiration, right?
No, just the fact is that what inspired you to help retailers, you know, reduce perishable goods foods waste?
Yes. So after the acquisition of Weisberger, the company that I worked for as CTO, I've decided not to be part of the acquisition and to pursue some opportunities that are also helping the environment.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and I looked at food waste and realized that for food waste, there are only, first, there is lack of technologies for reducing food waste. If you look at the retail space specifically, so one way to reduce food waste in retail will be replenishment optimization. Okay, replenishment optimization, supply chain optimization, and this will this will for sure work only to some extent. So you can optimize the replenishment the replenishment. I will start again. Okay, but where? Not from the start. Okay, I will start from the two solutions. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So to reduce food waste currently in supermarket, there are two viable solutions. The first one is what retailers are doing for many, many years, since 1970s, and these are just markdowns that currently are not efficient,
right?
Not at all. And there is the supply chain optimization, meaning replenishment optimization. Some companies are dealing with that, and that's a very good solution to have, but it is not sufficient. So ideally, when you look at a complete solution will work upstream, so towards the distribution center and the supply chain indeed, and also will be B2B2C, so working downstream towards the consumer. Because remember, if our goal is to reduce food waste, the only one that can really move the needle will be you, Richard, as a consumer.
Correct. Yes, exactly. So according to the UN, Oded, globally, we're wasting close to 1 billion tons of food each year. If we were just to reduce this amount, but let's say by 10% globally, how would that contribute to reducing our global carbon footprint?
Yes, so I want to tell you something that will, well, maybe it will surprise you. We are not dealing with CO2, carbon footprint, when we are trying to sell that, and I will tell you why. There are many shocking numbers, okay? But you cannot sell really sustainability to retailers, okay? Selling sustainability is difficult as much as selling safety. Okay, let's say you won't buy a safety chair to your kid if it costs $5,000, right? Even if it improves the chances that he will be protected during accidents. So what I'm saying here is that we are trying to move and to push the retailers, and to do so, we are talking with them in their own language, which means money. You know, many people are talking about green, but what they care is the green dollar. And the fact that all the retailers now, they have sustainability departments and they have budget for posters, that's great. But in order to really push them to embrace your technology, you should show them the value. And this is what we do. We are fixing the markdown system, which costs them a lot because they are waiting to the last minute, and they reduce the price of the item aggressively, what they call reduce to clear. And in most cases, they are not selling all the SKUs, all the store keeping units in the supermarkets, and they tend to throw away. Okay, so we are fixing the markdowns. That's one benefit of our value proposition, and then the result of it will be waste reduction, significant waste reduction.
Okay, good. Is there a success story you could share with us?
Yes, so yeah, of course. So in Italy, we are reducing the food waste by between 40 to 94%.
Wow.
And that's a huge variance, right? But it is strongly connected to the item that is covered. So there is a difference of what you can do to save bread, or let's say poultry, chicken thighs, or fish. Okay, so depending on the item that is covered, this is our result. We are aiming always for waste reduction that is above 50%. So just imagine that. Okay, you have a retail chain that is selling $70 billion a year. Let's say, okay, there are such chains, and they are throwing away in between 1.5 to $2 billion annually.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
And 87% of that is perishable items waste that is related to expiration dates.
Yes.
So out of that, we can reduce 50%. Just imagine that you add this chain, and instead of throwing away $2 billion, you will still throw away food, but it will be half.
Okay.
So that's very significant.
So how does your pricing model work? How does it assist the retailers?
So again, what we did really, we found the way of coexistence between two target functions that are colliding. The first one is waste reduction, and the second one is revenue increase. We are utilizing some technologies of deep ML that are very common also here in the country. And instead of waiting to the last day and go with very aggressive discount, we start beforehand. Okay. And we are starting with a very modest discount, if at all, because we are calculating also many parameters in our engines. And then we fix as we go. But so you have, instead of one period markdown, you will have multi-period markdowns, and they will all be educated.
Okay, understand. Okay. So we talked briefly about Canada because it's estimated by the UN that Canada wastes close to 2.94 million metric tons of food each year. So are there thoughts of trying to come into the North American market?
Yes, so for sure. As I said before, we started our office in New York on, I think, July 2019. We did all the changes for the product to fit the American and Canadian markets that are different from the European. And right now we are waiting for the window of opportunity. It is very difficult now to plan this expansion because of the COVID, as you can understand. Yeah. So currently we are still focusing on our European countries, and there are so many. But for sure we will be there. I just don't know exactly yet when.
Okay, I understand. So for a retailer or a person who would like to make contact with you, how's the best way to make contact with you, Oded?
Yes, so there is our website, and there is a contact email that goes directly to our business development team. We are not actively using sales team, so all of our sales are going via business development team, and they are answering.
Okay, excellent. So thank you again to Oded Omer for being our guest. And if you're a food manufacturer seeking distribution in Canada's grocery sector, please visit our website, www.fooddistributionguy.com. Thank you again for your time, Oded.
Thank you so much.